para talenta gemilang dan menjadi kampus yang ramah bagi semua kalangan. Kami percaya bahwa melalui pendidikan, peradaban dapat kokoh berdiri dengan menciptakan ruang inovasi, kreativitas, dan berdaya saing global. Memiliki program studi terakreditasi internasional maupun nasional. Kami berkomitmen memberikan pelayanan dan pendampingan bagi para mahasiswa dalam bidang akademik maupun non-akademik. Manumprit terbang di angkasa, terbang tinggi bersama rombongan. Ayo bangkit, wujudkan asa, bareng UNESA satu langkah di depan.
Telah terakreditasi unggul secara kelembagaan, UNESA terus tingkatkan kualitas program studi pendidikan berstandar internasional melalui akreditasi ASIIN, AKAS, dan akreditasi FIBA-A. Megah di Kota Pahlawan menjadi wadah para insan juara, merangkul semua kalangan, menciptakan kampus berbudaya, pelestari karya leluhur bangsa.
Standing.
Geliat toreh prestasi, kobarkan semangat juang kompetisi.
Standing majestically in a city of heroes to become a play. Standing majestically in
Prodi Bisnis Digital adalah prodi yang didirikan di bawah jurusan manajemen UNESA. Prodi Bisnis Digital ini diresmikan tanggal 23 April tahun 2021 oleh Kementerian Pendidikan Kebudayaan dan Ristek. Dan keunikan dari Prodi Bisnis Digital ini itu memang prodi ini berusaha untuk mengakomodir meningkatnya demand dari industri terhadap pentingnya skill lulusan yang bisa menguasai bisnis dan juga IT knowledge.
Nah, yang pertama jelas hari ini kita membutuhkan suatu prodi yang bisa menjawab kebutuhan industri. Salah satunya jadi itu kebutuhan secara digital, dan ini juga akan penggabungan antara manajemen dan teknik informatika. Walaupun juga ada mata kuliah ekonomi yang sedikit, tetapi itu ada kebutuhan pasar, kebutuhan industri di pasar tenaga kerja bahwa kita perlu adanya digitalisasi bisnis. Jadi bisnis yang kemungkinan yang sekarang ada shifting dan kemudian dia akan diminta untuk bagaimana dia memasarkan secara digital seperti itu.
Visi dari Bisnis Digital UNESA adalah menjadi prodi yang berdaya saing dalam bidang pendidikan dan pengembangan bisnis digital yang berbasis dengan etika bisnis. Untuk misi Prodi Bisnis Digital UNESA adalah menyelenggarakan penelitian, pendidikan, dan juga pengembangan masyarakat dalam bidang bisnis digital dan berbasis etika bisnis, serta menjalankan tata kelola universitas berdasarkan Good University Governance. Kita juga berupaya untuk menjalin kerjasama dengan stakeholder di dalam maupun luar negeri untuk meningkatkan daya saing dari Prodi Bisnis Digital UNESA. Ya, untuk pengajar ya, kalau kita bicara SDM dalam hal ini adalah pengajar, insya Allah Prodi Bisnis Digital sudah dilengkapi dengan tenaga pengajar yang memang sudah mempunyai pengalaman, bukan hanya di bidang pendidikan, tapi juga kita rata-rata adalah praktisi yang sebelumnya bekerja di consulting, di bisnis consulting maupun di perusahaan IT. Jadi harapannya kami akan bukan hanya mengajarkan tentang teorinya saja, tapi juga membantu para mahasiswa maupun lulusan untuk mempersiapkan skill set yang tepat yang pasti nanti akan digunakan di dunia kerja. Untuk lulusannya otomatis kita berharap bisa memenuhi harapan kami itu tadi ya. Oleh karena itu kalau misalnya kita melihat struktur kurikulum dari bisnis digital, memang 55-45, jadi 55 adalah teori, 45 adalah praktek. Di samping itu kita juga berusaha untuk menggait guest lecture dari praktisi sehingga membantu teman-teman untuk lebih aware tentang apa yang dibutuhkan oleh dunia industri saat ini.
Oke, yang pertama, bisnis digital di UNESA ini adalah prodi bisnis digital pertama di Jawa Timur, di Jateng, karena saya kira universitas besar di Jateng, DIY pun juga belum ada prodi bisnis digital. Di Jawa Timur kita adalah prodi bisnis digital pertama di kampus negeri. Jadi di kampus negeri itu baru di UNESA, seperti itu. Nah, kemudian di bisnis digital ini karena kita ini di UNESA yang X dari LPTK atau X dari ya IKIP, itu memulai punya core dalam pendidikan seperti itu. Jadi ke depan ketika kita membuat prodi ini dengan SDM yang ada sekarang, apalagi dari jurusan manajemen, ini juga memberikan dampak yang luar biasa terhadap perkembangan bisnis digital di UNESA. Karena ini pun juga sesuai dengan instruksinya Presiden. Baru kemarin mungkin 2 bulan yang lalu Presiden mengatakan fakultas ekonomi di Indonesia itu pasti cuma ada 3, ekonomi, manajemen, dan akuntansi. Nah ternyata kita juga sudah jauh lebih maju, kita sudah satu langkah di depan lah untuk kita bisa mendirikan prodi bisnis digital ini.
Ya, harapan saya tentu sangat tinggi. Saya sangat berharap lulusan dari prodi bisnis digital UNESA ini bisa memberikan kontribusi yang positif untuk masyarakat. Realnya adalah dengan menciptakan bisnis-bisnis baru yang kreatif dan inovatif, dan juga mempunyai nilai ekonomi dan sosial untuk masyarakat Indonesia.
Standing majestically in the city of heroes to become a place for champions. Embracing all societies, creating a cultured campus, preserving the work of the nation's ancestors. Striving for achievement, igniting the fighting spirit of competition. Born from the basis of education and science, Universitas Negeri Surabaya is now increasingly independent by earning the status of legal entity university. Having established 5 campuses in East Java that are integrated, UNESA is ready to reach various groups to be able to pursue higher education. UNESA Campus 1 is located on Ketintang, Surabaya. There are 6 faculty buildings which include Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Sciences, Faculty of Engineering, Faculty of Economics and Business, Faculty of Social Science and Political Science, Faculty of Law, and buildings, including the Rectorate Building and 5 faculty buildings which include Faculty of Educational Sciences, Medicine, Faculty of Psychology, Professional Education, as well as a graduate school. 2 other campuses are spread across East Java. Campus 3 UNESA on Professor Dr. Mustopo Street, Surabaya. Campus 4 UNESA is located on Gedangan, Sidoarjo. As well as Campus 5 UNESA located in Magetan, East Java.
Selamat datang di kampus Rumah Para Juara, Universitas Negeri Surabaya. Sebagai perguruan tinggi negeri berbadan hukum, UNESA terus menggali potensi terbaik anak bangsa, menempa para talenta gemilang, dan menjadi kampus yang ramah bagi semua kalangan. Kami percaya bahwa melalui pendidikan, peradaban dapat kokoh berdiri dengan menciptakan ruang inovasi, kreativitas, dan berdaya saing global. Memiliki program studi terakreditasi internasional maupun nasional. Kami berkomitmen memberikan pelayanan dan pendampingan bagi para mahasiswa dalam bidang akademik maupun non-akademik.
Having accredited institutionally superior, UNESA continues to improve the quality of internationally standardized study programs through ASEAN, AQUAS, and FIBA-A accreditations. Improving rankings at national and international levels, Universitas Negeri Surabaya also develops a variety of research and innovative products. Implementing the autonomy of an independent university, UNESA welcomes a variety of business management around the campus area. Universitas Negeri Surabaya is committed to realizing excellent service in supporting learning and preparing qualified graduates in various fields. Home of outstanding champions, UNESA is a vessel for the exploration of the development of soft skills and hard skills. Partnering with various parties, both on national and international scales. UNESA has carved its name in the Indonesian Record Museum and won several awards at the Higher Education, Research and Technology Award in 2023. Opening several new student admission schemes, UNESA unlocks opportunities for all societies, ranging from the national selection scheme based on achievement, the national selection based on tests, and the independent selection, which has 7 intakes, making UNESA a friendly campus for all people. Universitas Negeri Surabaya will continue this hard work to become a leading state university that is independent, sustainable, and environmentally friendly in Indonesia. Standing majestically in the city of heroes to become a place for champions. Embracing all societies, creating a cultured campus, preserving the work of the nation's ancestors. Striving for achievement, igniting the fighting spirit of competition. Born from the basis of education and science, Universitas Negeri Surabaya is now increasingly independent by earning the status of legal entity university. Having established 5 campuses in East Java that are integrated, UNESA is ready to reach various groups to be able to pursue higher education. UNESA Campus 1 is located on Ketintang, Surabaya. There are 6 faculty buildings which include Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Sciences, Faculty of Engineering, Faculty of Economics and Business, Faculty of Social Science and Political Science, Faculty of Law, and Faculty of Vocation. Campus 2 UNESA is located on Lidah Wetan, Surabaya, with 7 main buildings, including the Rectorate Building, the Educational Institution and Professional Certification Building, Two other campuses are spread across East Java. Campus 3 UNESA on Profesor Dr. Mustopo Street, Surabaya. Campus 4 UNESA is located on Gedangan, Sidoarjo, as well as Campus 5 UNESA located in Magetan, East Java.
Selamat datang di kampus rumah para juara, Universitas Negeri Surabaya. Sebagai perguruan tinggi negeri berbadan hukum, UNESA terus menggali potensi terbaik anak bangsa, menempa para talenta gemilang, dan menjadi kampus yang ramah bagi semua kalangan. Kami percaya bahwa melalui pendidikan, peradaban dapat kokoh berdiri dengan menciptakan ruang inovasi, kreativitas, dan berdaya saing global. Memiliki program studi terakreditasi internasional maupun nasional. Kami berkomitmen memberikan pelayanan dan pendampingan bagi para mahasiswa dalam bidang akademik maupun non-akademik. Manu emprit terbang di angkasa, terbang tinggi bersama rombongan. Ayo bangkit, wujudkan asa, bareng UNESA, satu langkah di depan.
Having accredited institutionally superior, UNESA continues to improve the quality of internationally standardized study programs through ASEAN, AQUAS, and FIBA-A accreditations. Improving rankings at national and international levels, Universitas Negeri Surabaya also develops a variety of research and innovative products. Implementing the autonomy of an independent university, UNESA welcomes a variety of business management around the campus area. Universitas Negeri Surabaya is committed to realizing excellent service in supporting learning and preparing qualified graduates in various fields. Home of outstanding champions, UNESA is a vessel for the exploration of the development of soft skills and hard skills. Partnering with various partners, UNESA has carved its name in the Indonesian Record Museum and won several awards at the Higher Education, Research and Technology Award in 2023. Opening several new student admission schemes, UNESA unlocks opportunities for all societies, ranging from the National Selection Scheme based on achievement, the National Selection based on tests, and the Independent Selection, which has 7 intakes, making UNESA a friendly campus for all people. Universitas Negeri Surabaya will continue this hard work to become a leading state university that is independent, sustainable, and environmentally friendly in Indonesia. Standing majestically in the city of heroes to become a place for champions. Embracing all societies, creating a cultured campus, preserving the work of the nation's ancestors. Striving for achievement, igniting the fighting spirit of competition. Born from the basis of education and science, Universitas Negeri Surabaya is now increasingly independent by earning the status of legal entity university. Having established 5 campuses in East Java that are integrated, UNESA is ready to reach various Lintang Surabaya. There are 6 faculty buildings which include Faculty of Engineering, Faculty of Social Science and Political Science, Faculty of Law, and Faculty of Vocation. Campus 2 the Rectorate Building, the Educational Institution and Professional Certification Building, Faculty of Educational Sciences, Faculty of Languages and Arts, Faculty of Sports and Health Sciences, Faculty of Medicine, Faculty of Psychology, Professional Education, as well as a graduate school. 2 other campuses are spread across East Java. Campus 3 UNESA on Professor Dr. Mustopo Street, Surabaya. Campus 4 UNESA is located on Gedangan, Sidoarjo. As well as Campus 5 UNESA located in Magetan, East Java.
Selamat datang di kampus Rumah Para Juara, Universitas Negeri Surabaya. Sebagai perguruan tinggi negeri berbadan hukum, UNESA terus menggali potensi terbaik anak bangsa, menempa para talenta gemilang, dan menjadi kampus yang ramah bagi semua kalangan. Kami percaya bahwa melalui pendidikan, peradaban dapat kokoh berdiri dengan menciptakan ruang inovasi, kreativitas, dan berdaya saing global. Memiliki program studi terakreditasi internasional maupun nasional. Kami berkomitmen memberikan pelayanan dan pendampingan bagi para mahasiswa dalam bidang akademik maupun non-akademik. Manu emprit terbang di angkasa, terbang tinggi bersama rombongan. Ayo bangkit bareng UNESA, satu langkah di depan.
Having accredited institutionally superior, ASEAN, AQUAS, and FIBA accreditations. Improving rankings at national and international levels, Universitas Negeri Surabaya also develops a variety of research and innovative products. Implementing the autonomy of an independent university, UNESA welcomes a variety of business management around the campus area. Universitas Negeri Surabaya is committed to realizing excellent service in supporting learning and preparing qualified graduates in various fields. Home of outstanding champions, UNESA is a vessel for the exploration of the development of soft skills and hard skills. Partnering with various parties, both on national and international scales. UNESA has carved its name in the Indonesian Record Museum and won several awards at the Higher Education, Research and Technology Award in 2023. Opening several new student admission schemes, UNESA unlocks opportunities for all societies, ranging from the National Selection Scheme based on achievement, the National Selection based on tests, and the Independent Selection, which has 7 intakes, making UNESA a friendly campus for all people. Universitas Negeri Surabaya will continue this hard work to become a leading state university that is independent, sustainable, and environmentally friendly in Indonesia. Standing majestically in the city of heroes to become a place for champions. Embracing all societies, creating a cultured campus, preserving the work of the nation's ancestors. Striving for achievement, igniting the fighting spirit of competition. Born from the basis of education and science, Universitas Negeri Surabaya is now increasingly independent. By having established 5 campuses in East Java that are integrated, UNESA is ready to reach various groups to be able to pursue higher education. UNESA Campus 1 is located on Ketintang, Surabaya. There are 6 faculty buildings which include Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Sciences, Faculty of Engineering, Faculty of Economics and Business, Faculty of Social Science and Political Science, Faculty of Law, and Faculty of Vocation. Campus 2 UNESA is located on Lidah Wetan, Surabaya, with 7 main buildings, including the Rectorate Building, the Educational Institution and Professional Certification Building, and 5 faculty buildings which include Faculty of Educational Sciences, Faculty of Languages and Arts, Faculty of Sports and Health Sciences, Faculty of Medicine, Faculty of Psychology, Professional Education, as well as a graduate school. 2 other campuses are spread across East Java. Campus 3 UNESA on Professor Dr. Mustopo Street, Surabaya. Campus 4 UNESA is located on Gedangan, Sidoarjo. As well as Campus 5 UNESA located in Magetan, East Java.
Selamat datang di kampus rumah para juara, Universitas Negeri Surabaya. Sebagai perguruan tinggi negeri berbadan hukum, UNESA terus menggali potensi terbaik anak bangsa, menempa para talenta gemilang, berdiri dengan menciptakan ruang inovasi, kreativitas, dan berdaya saing global. Memiliki program studi terakreditasi internasional maupun nasional. Kami berkomitmen memberikan pelayanan dan pendampingan bagi para mahasiswa dalam bidang akademik maupun non-akademik. Manumprit terbang di angkasa, terbang tinggi bersama rombongan. Ayo bangkit, wujudkan asa, bareng UNESA, satu langkah di depan.
Kami selalu melihat perkembangan di sekitar. Dengan tekad yang kuat, kami mengepakkan sayap lebih luas demi memperkokoh Timur Jawa untuk menjadi salah satu poros utama ekonomi Indonesia. Seiring bertambahnya umur, komitmen kami adalah memberikan kemudahan dan kenyamanan dalam setiap layanan perbankan yang terus berkembang seiring kebutuhan masyarakat.
Prodi Bisnis Digital adalah prodi yang didirikan di bawah jurusan manajemen UNESA. Prodi Bisnis Digital ini diresmikan tanggal 23 April tahun 2021 oleh Kementerian Pendidikan Kebudayaan dan Ristek. Dan keunikan dari Prodi Bisnis Digital ini itu memang prodi ini berusaha untuk mengakomodir meningkatnya demand dari industri terhadap pentingnya skill lulusan yang bisa menguasai bisnis dan juga IT knowledge.
Nah, yang pertama jelas hari ini kita membutuhkan suatu prodi yang bisa menjawab kebutuhan industri. Salah satunya jadi itu kebutuhan secara digital, dan ini juga akan penggabungan antara manajemen dan teknik informatika. Walaupun juga ada mata kuliah ekonomi yang sedikit, tetapi di situ ada kebutuhan pasar, kebutuhan industri di pasar tenaga kerja, bahwa kita perlu adanya digitalisasi bisnis. Jadi bisnis yang kemungkinan yang sekarang ada shifting, dan kemudian dia akan diminta untuk bagaimana dia memasarkan secara digital, seperti itu.
Visi dari Bisnis Digital UNESA adalah menjadi prodi yang berdaya saing dalam bidang pendidikan dan pengembangan bisnis digital yang berbasis dengan etika bisnis. Untuk misi Prodi Bisnis Digital UNESA adalah menyelenggarakan penelitian, pendidikan, dan juga pengembangan masyarakat dalam bidang bisnis digital dan berbasis etika bisnis, serta menjalankan tata kelola universitas berdasarkan Good University Governance. Kita juga berupaya untuk menjalin kerjasama dengan stakeholder di dalam maupun luar negeri untuk meningkatkan daya saing dari Prodi Bisnis Digital UNESA. Ya, untuk pengajar ya, kalau kita bicara SDM dalam hal ini adalah pengajar, insya Allah Prodi Bisnis Digital sudah dilengkapi dengan tenaga pengajar yang memang sudah mempunyai pengalaman, bukan hanya di bidang pendidikan, tapi juga kita rata-rata adalah praktisi yang sebelumnya bekerja di consulting, di bisnis consulting maupun di perusahaan IT. Jadi harapannya kami akan bukan hanya mengajarkan tentang teorinya saja, tapi juga membantu para mahasiswa maupun lulusan untuk mempersiapkan skill set yang tepat, yang pasti nanti akan digunakan di dunia kerja. Untuk lulusannya otomatis kita berharap bisa memenuhi harapan kami itu tadi ya. Oleh karena itu kalau misalnya kita melihat struktur kurikulum dari bisnis digital, memang 55-45, jadi 55 adalah teori, 45 adalah praktek. Di samping itu kita juga berusaha untuk menggait guest lecture dari praktisi sehingga membantu teman-teman untuk lebih aware tentang apa yang dibutuhkan oleh dunia industri saat ini.
Oke, yang pertama, bisnis digital di UNESA ini adalah prodi bisnis digital pertama di Jawa Timur, di Jateng, karena saya kira universitas besar di Jateng, DIY pun juga belum ada prodi bisnis digital. Di Jawa Timur kita adalah prodi bisnis digital pertama di kampus negeri. Jadi di kampus negeri itu baru di UNESA, seperti itu. Nah, kemudian di bisnis digital ini karena kita ini di UNESA yang X dari LPTK atau X dari ya IKIP, itu memulai punya core dalam pendidikan, seperti itu. Jadi ke depan ketika kita membuat prodi ini dengan SDM yang ada sekarang, apalagi dari jurusan manajemen, ini juga memberikan dampak yang luar biasa terhadap perkembangan bisnis digital di UNESA. Karena ini pun juga sesuai dengan instruksinya Presiden. Baru kemarin mungkin 2 bulan yang lalu Presiden mengatakan fakultas ekonomi di Indonesia itu pasti cuma ada 3, ekonomi, manajemen, dan akuntansi. Nah, ternyata kita juga sudah jauh lebih maju. Kita sudah satu langkah di depan lah untuk kita bisa mendirikan prodi bisnis digital ini.
Ya, harapan saya tentu sangat tinggi. Saya sangat berharap lulusan dari Prodi Bisnis Digital UNESA ini bisa memberikan kontribusi yang positif untuk masyarakat. Realnya adalah dengan menciptakan bisnis-bisnis baru yang kreatif dan inovatif, dan juga mempunyai nilai ekonomi dan sosial untuk masyarakat Indonesia.
Untuk kamu yang lagi butuh liburan, atau kamu yang punya banyak urusan,
saatnya buka semua kesempatan, kemanapun langkah kaki membawamu.
semua bisa pergi untuk membuka mata.
Waktunya buka pintu untuk membuat cerita.
Mencari rasa atau mengejar asa, kerjaan liburan jadi kenyataan.
Membuka pintu untuk menjaga silaturahmi, atau juga untuk yang baru mau bikin memori. Kemana kau mau, apapun alasanmu, selalu ada pintu yang terbuka. Nginep di Retos aja, nginep di Retos aja.
Gerakan Kemenangan Surabaya, are you ready?
Well, welcome to Liga Tendang Bola, where the league was created for the Knights. Just 1 month, we can make all history. Last year's king has been replaced by a new king. Yeah, this is more than just a game. This is passion, teamwork, and the road to greatness. The field is set, the teams are ready, and the battle for victory begins now. Be a man, do your best, and keep stronger. Glory, passion, dedication, momentum, conquer, invincible, triumph, endurance, fearless. That's the mentality of a champion. A perfect strike, the net ripples, and the stadium shakes with the roar of victory. The players embrace the moment, their eyes locked on the crowd as cheers fill the air. In every competition, there's a winner and a loser. But the journey is what counts. It's never just about winning. It's about the effort, the grind, the heart you put into every game. Greatness doesn't come easy. It's earned through sweat, determination, and relentless effort. Only those who put in the hard work and fight until the end truly deserve to be champions.
But now I'll rise above you.
Just push your limit. Give your all energy. More than just a competition, this is where players prove their worth and break barriers to make history. The league where every game counts and every player has a chance to shine. In this competition, it's not just about the win, it's about proving who you are.
Kami selalu melihat perkembangan di sekitar. Dengan tekad yang kuat, kami mengepakkan sayap lebih luas demi memperkokoh Timur Jawa untuk menjadi salah satu poros utama ekonomi Indonesia. Seiring bertambahnya umur, komitmen kami adalah memberikan kemudahan dan kenyamanan dalam setiap layanan perbankan yang terus berkembang seiring kebutuhan masyarakat. Kami selalu melihat perkembangan di sekitar. Dengan tekad yang kuat, kami mengepakkan sayap lebih luas demi memperkokoh Timur Jawa untuk menjadi salah satu poros utama ekonomi Indonesia. Seiring bertambahnya umur, komitmen kami adalah memberikan kemudahan dan kenyamanan dalam setiap layanan perbankan yang terus berkembang seiring kebutuhan masyarakat.
International Conference on Digital Business Innovation and Technology Management. With the theme, Accelerating Sustainable Development, Harnessing the Power of Digital Business for Achieving SDGs. Honorable Chairman of ABBISDI, Associate Professor Dr. Mary Citra Sondari, SA MSI.
Honorable Project Manager of the Iconbit 2025, Dr. Ratih Analia, SAMM.
And what we are proud of, all participants of Iconbit 2025. We give thanks to the presence of God Almighty because by His blessing and graces, we can gather in this event this morning without lacking anything.
First, allow us to introduce ourselves. I am Maritza Aurelia Nismara along with my partner,
Ahmad Iqbal,
as the Master of Ceremony at International Conference on Digital Business.
Commence with today's activities. Allow me to present an outline of this event. Allow me to present an outline of this event. The first one is opening ceremony.
Awarding ceremony.
And the last one is
Universitas Negeri Surabaya berperan aktif mencerdaskan bangsa, tangguh bermartabat berbudaya, tulus berbakti laksanakan tridharma, unggul berprestasi, karya inovatif, olahraga, ilmu dan seni. Inklusif, adaptif, kolaboratif untuk kejayaan negeri. Gerakkan langkah meraih cita-citamu, berani jujur dan teguh, jaga persatuan kebersamaan, teguhkan jiwamu untuk UNESA satu langkah di depan. Gerakkan langkah meraih cita-citamu, berani jujur dan teguh, jaga persatuan kebersamaan, teguhkan jiwamu untuk UNESA satu langkah di depan.
the next agenda is welcoming remarks. The first speech will be delivered by the project manager of Iconbit 2025 to Dr. Ratih Amelia, SAMM. Time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. May peace and blessing be upon you all. Salam Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, goodwill greetings. Distinguished guests, the Honorable Deputy Minister of Higher Education, Science and Technology, Professor Dr. Fauzan MPD, the Honorable Rector of Universitas Negeri Surabaya, Profesor Dr. Nuh Hasan MKes, the Honorable Vice Rector 3 Associated Professor Dr. Bambang Sigit Widodo MPD, the Honorable Dean of the Faculty of Economic and Business, Professor Dr. Anang Kristianto, SOS, MSE. Esteemed speakers in the world, it is deep gratitude and great pleasure that I welcome each of you to the International Conference on Information Technology and Business, Iconbit 2025. Together, virtually, we remain united in our shared pursuit of knowledge and meaningful collaboration. As chairperson of the Iconbit 2025 Organizing Committee, I'm honored to open this forum for global exchange and interdisciplinary dialogue. Iconbit stands as testaments to our collective commitment to innovation and academic excellence across the evolving landscapes of IT and business. This year's conference is especially remarkable thanks to enthusiastic engagement of international scholarly communication. We are proud to present 147 peer-reviewed research papers from scholars across diverse institutions with the participants of 12 countries. This event truly reflects the spirit of global connectivity. We are also privileged to host distinguished speakers from 6 nations whose insight will enrich our shared understanding. We hope Iconbit 2025 will be more than a venue for presenting research. It is our appreciation that it sparks long-lasting partnership, new lines of inquiry, and inspire transformative ideas that bridge theory and practice. Finally, I extend my heartfelt thanks to all individuals and teams whose dedication and hard work have made this conference possible. May Iconbit 2025 be a rewarding and impactful experience for each of you. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you for the welcome that has been given. The second speech will be delivered by the chairman of APBISD, to Associate Professor Dr. Mary Chitra Sondari SAMSE. The time is yours.
The Dean of Faculty of Economic Business, UNESA, Dr. Anang Kristianto, dear participants and invited guests, good morning and best wishes to all of you. Welcome to Iconbit 2025, a collaboration in APBISD, the Association of Digital Business Professional and Education, and the Business Study Program at UNESA. I greatly appreciate this activity and support the effort to improve lecturer research capacity, particularly in the field of digital business. This is a new discipline, but rapidly developed. Hopefully, this activity will produce innovative outcome in digital business scholarship that can enrich classroom teaching in each institution. Finally, I would like to gratitude and appreciation to the Faculty of Economics and Business UNESA, and especially Digital Business Study Program UNESA for organizing this event. So good morning, have a good conference and best regards. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you for the welcome that has been given. The last remarks is also to open Icon, Rector of State University of Surabaya, and will be delivered by Vice Rector 3, Associate Professor Dr. Bambang Sigit Widodo, MPD. Time is yours. Blessing and guidance for the success and smoothness of the execution of this occasion. We kindly invite Dr. Muhammad Fahmi, SAMM, to lead us in a prayer.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, let us bow our head for a moment, pray to God Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, so that our international conference can become a meaningful moment for all of us. I will lead this prayer based on the teaching of Islam, and those who are not Muslim, you are pleased to pray according to each of your beliefs. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin, hamdan yu'afi ni'mahu wa yakafi masidah. Ya Rabbana walakal hamdu, kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhikal karim wa azimi sultanik. Allahumma inna nas'aluka salamatan fid din, wa afiyatan fil jasadi, wa siyadatan fi ilmi, wa barakatan fi rizki, wa taubatan qablal maut, wa rahmatan indal maut, wa maghfiratan ba'dal maut. Allahumma ghafir lana wa liwalidayna wa lil muslimina wal muslimat wal mu'minina wal mu'minat al ahya'i minhum wal amwat. Innaka sami'un qaribun mujibu da'wat ya kadiyal hajat. Ya Allah, today in this beautiful place we gathered here to bring about a second international conference on digital business innovation and technology management, Iconbit. Make this international conference as a useful science assembly, as a medium of sharing useful ideas, knowledge, and experience of scholars, researchers, and students of various disciplines. May the conference we organize today benefit to our lives, broaden our knowledge, shine our ideas, and lead us to be successful, productive persons, which in turn will boost dignity of our nation. Ya Allah, guide and bless our hearts and our minds with the light of your guidance. Impart your supreme wisdom upon our activities. Help us to speak our minds clearly. Help us to listen to each other, respect each other, love each other, so that we are included to the blessed persons. Ya Allah, protect us from unintended temptation. show us the right path, and give us knowledge and strength to perform good things. Show us and make it clear the bad things, and give us knowledge and strength to avoid them. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azabannar. Subhanaka rabbika rabbi izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Amin 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 ya rabbal alamin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Kami selalu melihat perkembangan tekad yang kuat. Kami mengepakkan sayap lebih luas demi memperkokoh Timur Jawa untuk menjadi salah satu poros utama ekonomi Indonesia. Seiring bertambahnya umur, komitmen kami adalah memberikan kemudahan dan kenyamanan dalam setiap layanan perbankan yang terus berkembang seiring kebutuhan masyarakat. Kami selalu melihat perkembangan di sekitar. Dengan tekad yang kuat, kami mengepakkan sayap lebih luas demi memperkokoh Timur Jawa untuk menjadi salah satu poros utama ekonomi Indonesia. Seiring bertambahnya umur, komitmen kami adalah memberikan kemudahan dan kenyamanan dalam setiap layanan perbankan yang terus berkembang seiring kebutuhan masyarakat.
Prayer never ends. To begin the first session of this conference, there will be a presentation by the Deputy
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Excellency Rektor Universitas Negeri Surabaya, my teacher and my friend Prof. Nur Hasan, Vice Rector 3 Bapak Bambang Sigit Widodo, Dean of Faculty Economic and Business Prof. Anang, capitalism to be restorative instead of the sustainable development goal has the unique capacity to scale solution with speed to reach remote village and dense urban centers. But speed without direction, it can be dangerous. Therefore, we must enforce our innovation with intentionality. Let us coach with compassion, engineer with ethics, and build platform that prides digital, social, or ecological aspect. Green technology, who are able to have a strategy of ecological responsibility. Our classrooms must cultivate critical consciousness where students learn how to develop digital solutions plus why and for whom they are designed. Research must move from publication to real-world impact, addressing biodiversity loss, renewable transition, and climate and inclusive inquiry. In doing so, universities become the producers of green technologies and cultivator of green mindset. Higher education have a holy duty in this effort. Our universities can be the factories of degrees plus the reservation of ideas. In the laboratories of our students, it lays the blueprint of a green future. University must serve as catalyst for green entrepreneurship, policy design, and ethical innovation. We must foster the next
For the next agenda, and the main of our event will be moderated by Professor Dr. Andes Isi Abdul Mongit, MA PhD, and Mrs. Ika Dia Chandra Arifa, SA MCom. The time is yours.
Kami selalu melihat perkembangan di sekitar. Dengan tekad yang kuat, kami mengepakkan sayap lebih luas demi memperkokoh Timur Jawa untuk menjadi salah satu poros utama ekonomi Indonesia. Seiring bertambahnya umur, komitmen kami adalah memberikan kemudahan dan kenyamanan dalam setiap layanan perbankan yang terus berkembang seiring kebutuhan masyarakat.
Alhamdulillah, thank Allah, because this morning we are, and please pay attention for
Next slide, please. So, next slide. Yeah, so digital sustainable pathways, we have transparency. So these, yeah, and graduate Chinese students. And this is another is Indonesian student. They're actually our master students at Nottingham University. So they want to tackle the issue of the plastic waste in the rivers. So for example, like people living by the river. So we have lots of plastic waste in the river. So the idea is to create an application that promotes and plastic bag, and then they get the check. Is a great idea. But our problem is to make this happen. So next slide. So next slide. So this is what we do at our Ingenuity Lab. When we coach students to do their startup, we really make them think and work together in terms of their brainstorming, solving issues, understanding the problem in the society. And we make them do exhibition to showcase their ideas. Okay. So next slide, some reflections and future research. So next slide. So in terms of rethinking the impact from ground up, right? So our students are not just problem solvers, they are early stage innovators navigating the real world complexities. So if we leave solving the problem to big companies, if we leave the big problems to the big companies, they see the big problem. They may not see the everyday problem that people are facing. And so students are actually great in able to see the daily problem, day-to-day things. And so the theories, digital sustainability and AI paradox need to be engaged with the lived experience of the early entrepreneurs. So education is not just a pipeline for entrepreneurs, but it's also a lab to help the students to rethink innovation itself. So next slide. So just some future research directions. You may think about how do student team interpret and prioritize SDG in digital product design. How do they navigate the tension between impact and feasibility, especially with limited resources? So we have sustainability is a big issue to tackle. Next slide. So I have finished my talk today, just a very brief introduction. And if there's any questions.
Dr. Verita, two of participants who will ask a question. Please.
Same. Even if you say that you are here to help solve a sustainability issue, but you cannot just say, I'm here to solve a sustainability issue, but also you must be able to quantify. So by starting up this business with AI calculation in precision, we can reduce this much electricity consumption in a year. Yeah.
Oh, that is, I think this is the new going to continue upon the next speaker. I would like to invite Dr. Yudi, Professor Yudi. Are you with us now, Prof?
Hear me?
Dokter, Prof. Prof Ahmed sudah oke, Prof Yudi sudah oke. Prof Yudi.
Waalaikumsalam, Prof.
I'm very happy to read the schedule that you are. Dr. Peranita is Indonesian, working for the University Nottingham in China, and Professor Yudi Fernando is also Indonesian, working there. Okay. Dr. Yudi previously is very famous, especially in the area of the logistics. I think he's very prominent in this area. And if we look at the postgraduate in the university in Malaysia, Pahang, and Dr. Yudi has, especially on the issue of logistic and other, I think it's talking about many issues, but mostly logistic is in his main area, especially in the ASEAN and Malaysia. Okay. And because it will, I think, encourage and motivate our students in this conference. And now I think Professor Yudi will discuss about net zero carbon transition in Malaysia, the future of ESG.
Prof, Assalamualaikum and good morning. I'm very happy and delighted to be here. Thank you so much for the committee for the invitations. Somewhere among of you guys. So today, as what we planned, I'm going to share to you something like future development of net zero carbon transition in Malaysia. So my name is Yudi, been introduced before. I'm attached with the Faculty Industrial Management, University of Malaysia, Pahang, Sultan Abdullah. Let me share to you what happened to the Malaysian future direction on the carbon transition, as well as the some challenge. Especially many of Malaysians manufacturing industry, they are mostly and majority come from small medium enterprises. And as you know that European Union and some of country in the West, they are wanted now to implement net zero regulation and policy. For those who are able to comply with this kind of report, then they are eligible to export their product to European market. I think at the same time now, as we know that USA, through the president, is a superpower. And try also to link it what the company should weigh, especially in regard to ESG, sustainability goals, as well as net zero carbon transition. So I start first with some good case study about Apple supply chains. I think everybody know about Apple, and I do believe that some of you hold the Apple product now, whether you are using as your device, laptop, or as your phone. Everybody understand and everybody aware that Apple is a very superpower company, that the product come from multi-layers industry. They can come cross country as well. As we can see that the phone that you use, it's basically it's not come from US, that come from many countries. Some of us might thought that it's a come from China or Taiwan as well. Basically come from many industries. Some of them could be the competitor as well. For example, like we know that LG, we know that some of phone like Samsung, Sony, for example, right? They have their own phone product. But in the Apple scenario, they are working together in order to produce one phone. For example, like Apple phone. Yeah? So they are working together. They come from many countries, come from different what I call that strengths, but majority in handled by Scott, yeah, on high precision industry in Taiwan. So they're quite numerous. If you look at the US itself, only a few companies. This is about majority is about 5 companies, including the Intel, Corning, Qualcomm, Broadcom, and so on and so forth. Somehow they also come from Japan, China, as well as Korea, South Korea, right? So if we look at the understanding of the supply chain itself, that starts from downstream to upstream, could become from upstream and downstream as well. As we aware now, the supply chain, they call it as reverse logistic, and we also aware about the closed loop supply chain. It can start from the upstream and then downstream. It can start from downstream and upstream. They can come from the R&D, vendor, then after the manufacturing, to the end is final product and distribution. To the end, it's just like marketing. They wanted the customer happy with it. But the problem sometimes, many of their vendors not able to comply with the sustainability effort. For example, like Foxconn. Foxconn has an issue about their labor, especially underpaid, you know, and Foxconn also not pay attention for the labor welfare. Some of the labor might tend to suicide because of low pay, working very hard, and so on and so forth. So what happens? If the Foxconn not able to comply with the sustainability standards or the welfare and so on and so forth, they might lead also to the which my heart or my disturbing the Apple as the brand itself. So even a company say that, oh, I'm a sustainable company, I comply with ESG, SDG, and so on and so forth. What happened with your vendor and suppliers? So that the company as a whole should be able also to manage their own vendor and supply chain. So look what happened to Scott. Yeah? So they are coming with a lot of solutions, and they are also reject the married women. For example, that if you are wanted to apply the job in Scott, they might check the CV. In Indonesia, I guess because of the age last time. And of course, the discrimination might happen. Good looking, not good looking. That happened to India as well. Right? India, for example, those who are already married, not able or eligible to work with the Foxconn, for example, in India. Yeah? So sometimes might happen also mistrust that happen, you know, about the lowest decarbonization. So how Apple or iPhone or any Apple product claim themselves as the sustainable company? You know, this is some issue related to Foxconn. For example, I start with the case. Today, if we look at that changing in the supply chain, because the supply chain is not solely about the transportation, not about logistics, but that might happen to cross-border business strategy as well. Right? So today it's not company between the company competing each other, but they are chains among their teams. Right? So for example, like Apple chains compete with the Huawei chain, for example. Okay, what happened in changing the supply chain landscape? For example, like China's share of global export of consumer goods decreased. Yeah? As we know that the China is the main producer for any product in the world. Yeah? So they decrease about 4%. And after that, 60% the decrease on ocean booking for the cargo ships from China to US in second quarter in 2021. And 360%, you know, having issue related to long distance trade between 2014 and to 2022. And at the same time, we also found that China actually struggles, yeah? Because they need to convince the European companies to stay within the country. So now the 20%, 23% of European companies in China wanted to move away. So one of the countries that they wanted to move could be some, I think some country within the Southeast Asia region. So now let me go back to Malaysia scenario. Malaysia now also thinking how to attract more investors. As we know that some of big company in Malaysia, they already closed down and they moved to another neighboring country. For example, like Vietnam. Vietnam now is very competitive in terms of labor, in terms of the government policy, in terms of many ways. So Vietnam is very attractive to investors. But the problem here in Malaysia, as a Southeast Asia country, they might not or they might less attractive compared than other countries in the Southeast Asia. For example, like Vietnam is attract more investors. It's about 71%. Indonesia could be another Vietnam that has a chance about 60%. Thailand is about 51%, Philippines about 46%. Malaysia only 29% can attract investors. That's another problem that happened in Malaysia. So another context, country ranking by Green Future Index, Malaysia also not really that good compared to Singapore, Thailand, Philippines, and Vietnam. I think Indonesia is still below Malaysia. And you can see many of manufacturing, listed global manufacturing companies, we which operating in Malaysia quite sometimes, more than decades, already closed down their factory and moved to the Vietnam. So Malaysia now having some issue and they want to fix it in order to attract more investors. So this is a national level sustainability related policy. Malaysia, the one who has a very good one, I think compared than the rest of the Asia country. Malaysia has a net zero commitment, but somehow lacking in terms of human rights laws and trade. Carbon tax might not really empower enough at the moment, but they are moving very strong in terms of ESG reporting. Could be another mandatory for any company, including small, medium enterprise as well in Malaysia. So let me move next. Okay, so now more companies are committing to collaborate on the supplier who meet the environmental and social standards. But easy to say rather than able to implement it. So it's quite challenging. So based on Prince Water Cooper research on October 2022, only 8 out of 60 companies, able to comply with the sustainability standard. That means that it's a quite mature in terms of sustainability supply chain standard. And there is a consistent gap between the supply chain sustainability goals and corresponding investment that happened between 2019 to 2021. And as you can see, Malaysian companies are at the risk of being excluded from the future business opportunities unless they adapt ESG practices. So we can see now, in order to achieve sustainability, they should have implementing the ESG strategies or some of the policy in the company, and after that they can go beyond it, including net zero carbon emissions. But let me have a look on global supply chain score on average. So the score is about 32 out of 100 on sustainability. So majority of the company still not able to achieve sustainability compliance in terms of global supply chain. So now we realize that supply chain sustainability, green movement in the business is very important. It's not as a part of if you can or if you able, but it's a kind of it must have. Yeah. So Prince Water Cooper analyzed of the top 100 companies listed in Bursa Malaysia. Then they underscore the importance of emphasizing of the supply chain practices to boost the company ESG. And today, Malaysia needs to prioritize the sustainability in its supply chains to meet zero goals. And another fact and figure that we found, over 50 of Malaysia's trade partners and export supply chain partner are intensifying their focus on net zero commitment. Yeah, so now many Malaysian CEO are more focused on economic issues like inflation, geopolitics, macroeconomic, and many more. And as you know that Malaysian government now already set up for the net zero roadmap. So now the task is how readiness of the manufacturing company or small medium enterprise in the company able to comply with the net zero movement or initiative in 2050. So other than that, net zero transactions on the multinational company, they only up to 78%. They will remove the suppliers if not able to meet the carbon transition plan by 2025. Supply chain emissions count about average 70%, 73% of the MNC total emissions, and more than two-thirds, it's about 67% of multinational company, they are able to take out supply chain emissions at the first step of the net zero transition rather than focus on their own carbon output. And if you look at that, the supplier in the 12 key emerging and fast-growing market can share about 1.6 tons if they remain as a part of multinational company. So let's have a look at the potential losses to the companies not able to involve in net zero transition. So we can see that Malaysia might also lost so much compared than Nigeria, South Africa, or even Indonesia. Majority come from China, India, Hong Kong, and Singapore lah. Yeah? So they should able to comply, with net zero carbon transition. So how the multinational companies support their supplier should be able to reach the net zero? Maybe the top company, the big company, they're able to do it. What about the vendor? For example, like in order to produce one car, one vehicle, just say a car, the consists is about 1,000, more than 1,000 different types of spare parts. Yeah? So can you imagine that their vendor can come from many countries? Yeah? So now, how do they support their net zero initiative? So the first, they should offer preferred supplier status to sustainable supply. This is the most critical one, 47%, yeah, according to the standard chartered in 2021. So the second one, they have to invest in the new technology on behalf of their vendor, or their suppliers. It's about 46%. And they should be able also to help to educate on how to be effective in order to achieve energy efficiency strategy. This is about 37%. And the rest, to educate about reducing waste, provide the industry specialists, investing in the clean energy infrastructure, that including as well pricing, different pricing strategy. So the government also can provide the loans, especially to invest on carbon emissions and operations. Yeah? So ESG basically can help the company in order to examine the sustainability performance. There are 3 different levels of ESG in the company that when they're able to comply, they can also meet the sustainability performance. The first one, many companies not aware, ESG can help them to save a lot of costs. And after that, when they come up with a low cost, then they can sell it with a lower price, right? Then definitely can increase the competitiveness. And another one, as we aware now, many of our consumers, they are more aware about the green movement, and they will become loyal and also improve, the company reputation because able to be green. So what should companies should understand about the best practice of ESG in their supply chain? So ESG and the supply chain somehow always been discussed in a separate way. But today I wanted to discuss it, become integrated part of supply chain if they are able to accommodate the ESG initiative. So they can come from a stakeholder basis, can also rising the consumers' expectation as well as international policies. So let me move on the stakeholder appraisal first. In Malaysia, they already signed 16 free trade agreement with many countries, including 7 bilateral free trade agreements and 7 regional free trade. You can see that ASEAN with Malaysia with Japan, Malaysia with New Zealand, Malaysia with India, Turkey, and many more, including European Union. So because of they already signed many agreements, so Malaysia have to, to be able to comply, not only about the agree on paper, but they have to really achieve it. But another problem about the stakeholder appraisal, many of the European companies who are having Malaysia as a contract manufacturer, they now giving conditions. If you want to export your product to European companies or European market, you have to meet the carbon border adjustment mechanism regulation. So means that the companies should be able to report their carbon emission can be part of their ESG movement. And we can see now Malaysia is position itself as the 4th largest trading partner for European. If they are not able to comply with the carbon border adjustment mechanism, they are not able to export their product anymore. As you know that SME in Malaysia contributes is about 50-60% of the Malaysian GDP. So today, sustainability is quite important, and they have to be involved in many different areas, not within the company itself, but within the supply chain as well. Right? So now, let's looking from another stakeholder's perspective. Yeah. So we can see that how to be socially responsible business to address the social and environmental issues. And 90% would boycott the company if they learn company not able or irresponsible with their green business practice. So today we can conclude that with rising importance of sustainability in the international trade, the global value chains are increasingly governed by sustainability standards, right? So ESG then its impact to global value chain. The ESG are key factors used to evaluate ethical practice, sustainability, and long-term impact of the company. And with rising importance of sustainability in international trade, it is believed the global value chain are increasingly governed by sustainability standards. Not to forget is about carbon emissions. And the company also have to ensure that fair labor practices, no discrimination, and being transparent for the corporate government. I think that's all from my presentation today. I would like to hand over to my colleague, the Prof moderator, to continue with other Q&A session, if any. Thank you, Prof.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Yudi. Please give big applause to Professor Yudi. Oh, this is very interesting in presentation, and especially on the data you present that big company that practice the ESG. This is a very strange. So I think this is very important issue that you raise, and of course, if we look at your presentation now, the awareness that the implementation of the ESG is widespread. To exclude the company, even even from the Malaysia, you mentioned there is a risk that they will be be rejected from the global supply chain because of the lack of the implementation.
Net zero carbon from, or even for young generation, including the student, you should aware about it. If you have capable to understand this, follow, for example, like ESG specialists or
upon this place.
And all friends to join this conference. I need to. Okay, good morning, good afternoon. I'm Jun Wei Lian, and I'm a professor from Department of Information Management. But also I'm the associate dean of Office of International Affairs from National Taichung University of Science and Technology. Today I will share the topic related to design thinking for team transformation. I think this title can correspond to the topic of this conference. This is the brief introduction of myself. And not only a professor, but also an associate dean of the National Taichung University of Science and Technology. As the chairman introduction, my research interests, including in electronic commerce, electronic business, service science, and design thinking. Finally, I will pay attention to some issues related to healthcare information management. Now, Google is always powerful. If you want to have more information about my research, you can share my name on the Google Scholar and my full name Jun Wei Lian. You will find the details of my publication on the website. Here is the outline of my presentation. The first part, I will have some introduction about why this topic is important. The second part, I will talking about what is twin transformation. This is very important for the nowadays business. And then the third part, I will talking about design thinking. Finally, at the fourth part, I will integrate the part 2 and the part 3 and talking about what design thinking can do for team transformation. Next, I will talking about what is the twin transformation. As we know, nowadays, true power push business move forward. You can see this figure. The left-hand side is the digital transformation, and the right-hand side is sustainability transformation. Okay, the overlap part, we can define as the twin transformation. Why it's twin? It integrates digital transformation and sustainability transformation. Okay, like the Christmas say at the 2024, twin transformation, we can define it's the business capability for an integrated digital and sustainability transformation. And then at their paper, they also propose a twin transformation butterfly. I will show you later. Let's go back to this figure. Okay, as we know, digital transformation enables sustainability transformation for business. On the other side, sustainability transformation guides digital transformation for business. Okay, at the paper of the Christmas, they propose this idea is twin transformation butterfly. On the upper side is the primary capability for business to promote, including make digital transformation sustainable. At the right-hand side, make sustainability transformation digital. Okay, this is the primary capability for digital transformation. Similar concept at the right-hand side is regarding the transferability. The same, that has the first order concept. At the right-hand side is the support capability about sustainability. Business need to build outside-in capability. This is the basic concept of the twin transformation butterfly, not only for Thai business, but also business around the world. Next, I will show you some case in Taiwan. Okay. The first part, yes, is the one of the major partner of the Apple, TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. It released a newer ESG and SDG report. For the TSMC, I checked their newer ESG and SDG report. I captured some critical points about the twin transformation. For the TSMC, the SDG goals of the 9 industry innovation and infrastructure. Okay, their goal is to encourage innovation to achieve adding the world energy savings, successful energy conservation, alliance partner join efforts together. Okay, this is about the TSMC. The second case, I checked the ESG report online. Okay, in their ESG report, they propose the idea, intelligent safety. This intelligent safety, including aircraft maintenance and the flight crew healthcare. In their ESG report, they say they need to follow SOP through data-driven, evidence-based driven, by integrating big data, AI, and different kinds of business information technology. This is the concept of the twin transformation. First part, we need to achieve the goal of the sustainability. We can by using the digital technology, digital transformation, by integrating digital transformation. For business, okay, this is the case of the EBA Air. Finally, I will also share the third case in Taiwan. The business. Okay, this is about the topic is about twin transformation. Okay, and then I will talking about how design thinking can do for the twin transformation. As we can see the content of the three cases, a very important keyword is innovation. Okay, by the innovation method, business can achieve twin transformation. How we can have the innovation ideas? We think business can use the design thinking methodology. Okay, what is design thinking? It is the process of the divergence and the convergence. And this is also the basic philosophy of my study. By using the double diamond design process, business need to training their employees to discover the problem, define the critical problem, develop the idea, and deliver the solution. This is the basic idea. The same in the context of the twin transformation. Business need to discover how to make innovation to achieve twin transformation. This is another chapter regarding the design, regarding the thinking. The same from the discover, define, develop, and I will just show a basic concept. This is how to from the user-centric to find the need.
Excuse me, Prof. 5 minutes left.
Okay, no problem. Okay, thank you. And to have the idea and propose the prototype. Okay, this is the study from the pool from the 2019. His paper is talking about design thinking for sustainability. Okay, in this figure, and the left-hand side is sustainability-oriented innovation. We have this challenge. In the right-hand side is the design thinking key principle. In this paper, the authors say design thinking key principle can deal with the change of the SOI. Okay, if you want to know the detail, you can check this paper. Okay, finally is my brief conclusion. If we have the best idea of the twin transformation for academic, maybe we can find the research topics without AI and sustainability. Okay, the same for the practice, like the three cases, TSMC, EDA, and the GENT. We can find they try to use AI to achieve sustainability. This is the spirit of the twin transformation. Of course, for the university education, we can use the sustainable concept to lead professional education. For example, we can integrate project management training with the sustainable method. We can try to train students have the ability of the PRISM. This methodology is developed by the GPM Green Project Management in 2013. Okay, this is the brief conclusion from the academic practice and the university education. For the business can help to achieve the twin transformation. Okay, this is on my side and our university. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Please give big applause to Professor Yun. Big applause to Professor Yun. Oh, thank you very much, Prof. You provide us with very good insight on how to. You provide us with very good insight on how to understand and combine the issue of digitalization and the sustainability. And we can see from the audience to ask a question, I would like to ask you, how the big company like Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, yeah, and then the Eva Air and the Giant, it is also, all of this is very famous here too. Integrated they are practical. Please give me some idea how they implement this approach, Prof. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. This is a very good question. Okay, I chose three cases from Taiwan. a very different industry, and we can find using the AI technology, especially generative AI, for example, for the EVA airline, they can use the generative AI to provide sustainability. Right?
Yes. Yes, Rob. Yes.
Okay. This definition, as I already mentioned at the beginning of my presentation. Okay. For modern business move forward, the first one is about the sustainability. How can we achieve at the your undergraduate period? You can maybe study master degree or have a new job at the practice and business. The ability integrate information technology, for example AI, and plus
Kami selalu melihat perkembangan di sekitar. Dengan tekad yang kuat,
I have position of Pro Vice Chancellor, partnership and transnational education. But what we talk about my tenure as a Dean of School of Business, correct. Other aspect is that Western Sydney University, in fact, reading the Times of Education Impact ranking, not only for last year, but also this year, we were ranked globally #1. So very much in our DNA, when we talk about our position in Times Education ranking. So let me just, I want to actually share my screen. Can you see screen here? So really, my topic is about accelerating sustainable development and achieving sustainable development goals through collaborative advantage. So my talk is about not so much on competitive advantage. In fact, it's moving away from a competitive advantage and the focus is on collaborative advantages. When it comes to sustainable development, I think the three aspects are extremely important, and those aspects are which really heart of sustainability. One is resource scarcity, climate change, and economic disparities. So, for example, when you look at economic disparities, really we're talking about reducing poverty, reducing hunger, gender equalities, improving health, and providing quality education. So we are talking about Sustainable Development Goal number 1, 2, 5, 3, and 4. When we collaborate to make our cities and communities sustainable, we are working together to address the issues of climate change and resource scarcity. So how do we address these complex issues as a single digital business, a single university, a single non-digital business, corporation or NGO, working alone and just relying on your specific firm-specific advantages you cannot make much progress, even though you may have a good intention. So what is really required is a collective action, and requires across sectors collaboration. It requires universities, businesses, including digital businesses, governments, city government, provincial government, national government, regional bodies coming together to find very complex problems. And these complex problems are complex at the global level as well as much as at the local level. Now, conventional mindset, and this is how I am being trained as an economist, is that you try to create your firm-specific competitive advantages. You want to create, you want to sustain, and you want to enhance those advantages. Now, at times, with very good intention, these firms, these organizations, including digital businesses, try to address environmental issues, sustainability issues, and move towards sustainable development goals. But these efforts less than optimum. They bring less than optimum outcomes. Why? Because they are acting in silos. And there's struggle with, I would say, 3 key disadvantages. And that is diseconomies of scale, because they cannot impact at a scale. Diseconomies of scope, they cannot really produce services, products, outcomes by themselves. And third one is they struggle with high transaction costs, and I'll expand on that. So what you have is suboptimum societal outcomes, and in fact, even when you're trying to do good. So what required is working beyond your competitive advantages, working beyond your firm-specific resources, competences, and that means collaboration. And why this collaboration is required? Because the magnitude of problems, the intensity of these issues, the massive resource requirement. So what you require is, whether you're a university, whether you're a business, NGO, government, you have to come together and think beyond your own specific advantages. So that requires bringing organizations, businesses, entities from various sectors for shared social, societal benefits. And that means a move away from protecting your competitive advantages or just leveraging on own advantages to address societal problems. You bring those assets, resources, competencies, knowledge, technologies together. You leverage, you collaborate, and that is the best way forward. And I can give you a few examples to maximize the impact of your collaboration. And we have already seen this happening in the ASEAN context. And I'll give you a couple of examples in a few minutes. So when we talk about the collaborative advantages, it are those advantages which you cannot acquire, you cannot attain, sustain, enhance if you're working single-handedly. So what are the benefits, what are the attributes of these collaborative advantages. Economies of scale, and that means as you expand your scale, your unit cost declines. And that gives you not only reduced cost of production, but also it minimizes, optimizes your operations so you achieve operational efficiencies. The second aspect is economies of scope, and that means you can produce multiple outcomes, services, if you produce them together rather than producing single-handedly. So that is economy of scope, and that's quite a straightforward concept applicable to universities very well, where as academic we produce both research and teaching at the same time, rather than one university is doing teaching and other universities doing research. The third one is decline in transaction costs. When we bring universities together, when you bring business, NGOs, governments together, you reduce the cost of doing business, monetary cost, transaction cost, which is also search cost, information cost, the hassle cost. The fourth one is you learn from each other. It's a mutual learning. It's a sharing of your competencies, resources, and you create pathways to innovation, product innovation, process innovation, new model business innovation. And also, it minimizes your risk minimization, because risks are being shared for that social innovation, a societal outcome. Now, importantly, if you are a digital business or any other business, not only you are contributing to societal benefit, you also contribute to your own private, firm-specific advantages. Your business is growing, you're getting into new markets, your brand is visible. Because of your societal impact and because of your different perceived image, you're successful in attracting sustainability-induced funds or green financing, and that means that's an equity aspect attached to it. You achieve operational efficiencies and innovation in your own operations, because you got a learning from other players in that particular alliance or in that particular arrangement. And also, these days, I've seen it a lot when people come for jobs, even in businesses, they want to see the organization culture, whether you are environmentally friendly. That also helps you to, I would say, strengthen your organizational culture, right? And that is again lead to your firm-specific competitive advantage. Development goal, not SGD but SDGs, have a private impact and benefits, and you move closer to addressing inequalities, you move closer to assess, to reduce climate degradations, and also reducing poverty, hunger, and so forth, the three key factors I mentioned earlier. Now, what brings people together? Because collaboration doesn't happen in a vacuum. There are certain elements which act as a magnet: shared values, mission, goals, and objectives. So if you believe in societal impact, if you believe in sustainable development goals, if you believe in meaningful partnerships, and that is goal number 17, partnership for goals. You have a common grounds, expected mutual and private benefits. Whether you got a strategic fit, it's not only one-off project. Synergies and complementarities, complementary resources you bring together, mutual trust, commitment, and effective communication. Whether you're reciprocal in terms of your asset sharing, knowledge sharing regime, and effective governance. Of course, not every collaboration have all the elements, but I would say they are critical elements which bring you together. Let me give you two examples here. The first example is ASEAN Smart City Network. It's a successful example of how you collaborate and create collaborative advantages. We have 10 ASEAN countries, including Indonesia. It's a collaborative platform. You've got digital businesses involved. You've got a corporation, businesses, industries, universities are involved. Local city governments are involved. And they're all centered on sustainable development goals, including NGOs which are involved pursuing those goals. You also have public-private partnerships, and at this stage, there are 35 cities in ASEAN, which are, I would say, testbed to implement the smart cities project. What's the role of digital businesses? And that is digital businesses are essentially acting as an enabler. Now that's an important point, because you can have an enabler but no takers. So here you have you got conducive environment. You got governments involved in it, national governments nudging city governments, provincial governments, state governments to join hands. So what are the focus areas when we talk about ASEAN Smart City Network? You got smart technology, smart economy, smart governance, smart mobility, how people move around in the city, smart environment, smart people, and smart living. Now, when you look at these focus areas, then you start realizing that here we're talking about sustainable cities and communities. That is Sustainable Development Goal number 11. You start looking at affordable and clean energy. That is Sustainable Development Goal number 7. You also start addressing climate action, Sustainable Goal number 13. There's an element, strong elements, industry and innovation. That is Sustainable Goal number 9. There's an element of health and well-being of citizens in these cities. That's Sustainable Goal number 3. And more importantly, it's all about collaboration, it's all about partnership, and that is Sustainable Goal number 17. As I said, these digital businesses are acting as a glue, a common thread, which connects these projects in these smart cities. Now, once again, digital businesses alone cannot deliver what is being delivered at this stage. And that is where research and innovation is coming from universities. And these universities include universities from Singapore, Thailand, you got University of Indonesia, and UTM from Malaysia. This is just one example how university digital businesses the governments, cities, communities coming together to create some smart city outcomes. And that includes smart waste management, energy efficient buildings, sustainable transportation, and these few examples from Kuala Lumpur, one of the smart city test bed, Singapore, and the smart cities test bed, where a number of projects are taking place through this collaboration. Then you have in Indonesia, you've got a renewable energy solutions, solar power, and smart grids. So once again, another fantastic example how collaboration can deliver what competition can't. Then we look at climate action, green technologies, climate resilient infrastructure. If you look at some micro level project under Smart City Initiative, you got also in Singapore, for example, South Korea Ministry of Small, Medium Enterprises and Enterprise Singapore coming together, and that is really doing something with related to industry innovation. Not too far from Surabaya, you've got other project happening on health and well-being, and that's US-based John Valley and Sons coming together. And then you got Cambodia, industry and innovation, and Phuket, where Digital Economy Promotion Agency, Phuket City, and also Ronald Berger are coming together to come up with industry innovation related projects. Now, just a bit of focus on how these regional collaborations, especially when it comes to ecotourism in Indonesia. If you look at, for example, Misol Eco Resort, a Misol Foundation, NGO, and a resort hospitality tourism operator coming together, and really they are addressing the issue of protecting biodiversity when it comes to marine tourism. So what you got? You got a growth in tourism, and that is a sustainable development goal, decent work and economic growth. You got a foundation is benefiting it. You got a protection of ecosystem, and that underpins Raja Ampat as one of the world's top driving destination. And that is life below water, sustainable development goal number 14. The other example is coming from, once again, Wakatobi Diving Resort, a national park and local communities. So this is where communities are benefiting, and that's economic sustainability and growth for local communities, decent work and economic growth. Once again, life below water. Yeah. And the last example I have is Raja Ampat, and that's the Papua Explore Resort, regional airline, and local boat operators. Now, there are just a few, I would say, local examples that how a collective effort local boat operators cannot achieve alone unless they join hands with regional airline. Regional airline cannot expand their business without having this collaboration, and resort cannot function at full capacity if they don't have this collaboration. So what you have in this particular example, not only 3 operators are expanding their firm-specific competitive advantages, their private benefits, but through collaboration, they're also creating economies of scale, scope, reducing transaction cost, and having a societal impact. So what are the takeaway here? And that's my final slide here. And that is cross-sector strategic partnership sustainable development goals. Second, cross-sector collaboration yield both social and private benefits to the participants. So it's a win-win outcome mutually beneficial. The third one is providing a conducive collaborative environment and framework is necessary for sustainable development. So what I mean by collaborative environment and provision of that, and this is where the role of regional body, the role of city government, provincial government, state government, national government, in this case, I gave the example of ASEAN Secretariat in Jakarta, and ASEAN as a community of nations coming together to address complex problem in terms of when we talk about sustainable development goals, but more importantly, when we talk about sustainable development. So I think I'll stop here and quite happy to take any questions. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name Muhammad Rizkat Masya from Surabaya State University. Okay, may I ask a question for how can the digital business model and innovation be strategically leveraged to accelerate the progress toward the specific sustainable development goals (SDGs), especially in emerging economies, while ensuring inclusivity, data ethics, and environmental responsibility? Thank you very much for me and Mr.
While working on these societal projects, so sometimes you are included, but you are not empowered. So to me, that is like inviting people to a party. It's empowerment.
5 peer-reviewed journal articles, including 31 in Q1 rank and 20 demonstrating strong research leadership. He has secured over 2.25 million. So good afternoon, Professor Ferry. How are you?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thank you to invite me as one of the speakers. Supply Chain Society 5.0, which is future research opportunities. It's just like it's a doubling. So thank you once again. So this is my research area. So as you can see, my research area in the supply chain and logistics management. I'm chair of the Student Appeals Committee and interim course coordinator and also Charter of Institutes, Logistics and Transport, which is the fellow member. And also, as you can hear from the moderator, I published more than 121 papers in the last actually 15 years. And this is for my research grant. So I'm doing research project funded by Australia Research Council Linkage Project about supply chain disruption in relation to the global port in Australia. So the title is an explainability-oriented approach to manage dependent supply chain risks And the second project is already, as well as the third project about the post-COVID-19, funded by Department of Job, Tourism, Science and Innovations. So all of you are able to download, and summer paper is open access. You'll be able to download free for all my papers under Scopus or under Simago Journal Ranking or under Google Scholar. So please feel free if you want to read and to have a better understanding about supply chain and logistics and sustainability, supply chain management and other operation management as well. Okay, so go back to the Industrial Revolution. So if you look at the Industrial Revolution of human being intelligence, so back then in the first Industrial Revolution is 18th century, in the 1850, it is craft production and job shops. It's pretty much steam-based machines, right? And then about 20 years later, which is early 1900, 1910, the second industrial revolution, so the electrical energy-based mass production, and this is the first factories was born that time, so early 1900. And then in between second and the third industrial revolution, which is the late 20th century, all the computer, internet-based knowledge there. So this kind of in transition on the third of industrial revolution, dedicated management in the fourth industrial revolution. So the artist's cloud system, the CIM, mass customization is already there. Sometimes it's a late or early there. Sometimes it's a late or early 2000. So 2010, Industrial Revolution 4 was born. That's why we have a manufacturing. So those kind of technology, early 2010, like IoT, CPS, PSS, which is Product Services System Networks, a digital platform, digital twins, back then in 15 or 10 years ago, those are already here, right? So we are in Industry 5, so basically 2025, so we are in July, 2025, so in July, 2025, so we are in the fifth industrial revolution. So what's the different fifth industrial revolution? So fifth industrial revolution is adaptive connective manufacturing system. So if you look at on the screen, there are 3 dimensions, which is the green. So those technologies are here, like AI, machine learning, deep learning, digital twins, and we are in the sustainability systems era. We are in the human society 5 or the 5th industrial revolution. Okay, so society 5 originally introduced in Japan a few months ago. So envisioning a highly connected, technology-driven society that integrates physical and digital worlds seamlessly. In this stage, supply chain, so what I'm presenting now, are expected to be even more advanced with a focus on sustainability. As you know, this topic of the international conference, more sustainability, the previous speaker, Professor Amir, mentioned about SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. So sustainability supply chain is a high demand for research right now because we are in a supply chain in Society 5.0. And circular economic principle and also human-centric. So a supply chain in the Society 5.0, we definitely need to deal with the human intervention, not fully 100% technology. So if people think that, oh, I'm gonna lose my job because we have the machine learning, we have the fancy technology surrounding us like robots, automated system, but not necessarily, because we still have a human-centric sustainability and resilient system in the era of Industrial Revolution 5. Okay, so if I ask you a question, a supply chain was born when it was born. So early 1960, as you know, enterprises or organization, have the demand, purchasing, warehousing, material handling, packaging, order processing, transportation, strategic planning, information service, marketing, sales, finance, etc. Right? Then 20 years later, early in 1980, so purchasing and material management. So we have physical distribution, right? And then those dimensions combined into one. That's we have integrated logistics, right? So late 1980, integrated logistics was born. So the 1990s beyond, we have supply chain management. So please don't confuse, because many people say, oh, logistics is the same as supply chain. It's not. So if you work in the sector, like transport company, if someone asking you a question, logistics, is that the same as supply chain? No. Because logistics is one of function of the supply chain. Supply chain is a philosophy. Supply chain, because I did my doctorate degree in supply chain management at the University of Sydney, right? So pretty much I'm a supply chain guru. I publish a lot of papers about supply chain, upstream, downstream supply chain, halal food supply chain, halal cosmetics, At this moment, I'm doing project with the one of university in Indonesia. We got funding from Bank of Indonesia to do halal cosmetic supply chain in Indonesia. That's interesting, right? So if you look at the supply chain definition, so if you look at my dissertation from my PhD, I completed my PhD in 2008. So that kind of the definition of supply chain. See, if you look at Council of Supply Chain Management Professional, Institute for Supply Management in Houston, in Texas, Association for Operation Management, if you look at they're all a similar definition. The only thing, if you can see the definition of supply chain, is the planning, is the design, management of all activity involved in sourcing, procurement, logistics management activities, include coordination, right? Which are suppliers, intermediaries, third-party providers, and customers, right? And if you look at the Association for Operation Management, the design, planning, execution, control, monitoring, supply chain activities, with the objectives of creating that value, building a competitive infrastructure, leveraging worldwide logistics, synchronizing supply with demand, and measuring supply chain performance globally. So have a look, because if just in case most of you don't understand what is supply chain structure, if you look at supply chain structure for manufacturing company like cereal manufacturer, like Kellogg cereal, if you look at the cereal is a focal firm, then if you look at upstream, if you have first tier, we got flour processor, second tier, you got farmer, and the third tier, you got oil company and forest. Then you can see the downstream. First tier, you got grocery, right? And the second tier, you got retail, and then third tier, you got consumer. So supply chain is pretty much product and services moving from upstream to downstream, as well as information and planning as well, right? Okay, so supply chain not necessarily for product, but also for the service. This is what we call service supply chain. A service supply chain, you can see on the screen in the slide, hotel management supply chain. The upstream, you can see a mattress supplier, food services. Second tier, you can see framing contractor, cement contractor. The third tier, you got plumber provider, and the fourth tier you got milling company. And then downstream, so you got hotel brand like Santika, Novotel, etc. And the second tier you got business traveler and leisure traveler. Okay, so if you look at what's the difference supply chain and value chain integration? Supply chain integration is coordinating the physical flow of materials. So ensure that the right parts are available at various stages of the supply chain, upstream to downstream. On the other hand, value chain integration, right? Managing information, physical goods and services, but ensure their availability at the right place, time, cost and quantity, and with the highest attention to quality. Because it's very important, because most of you, if you're doing research, especially you are teaching, and you don't understand the concept, supply chain and value chain integration is a very dangerous. It's not good for the student and not good for the concept when you do your research, especially you publish in the top tier international journal. Right, so in the longer term, combined and connected technology will unlock new mechanism for creating and distributing value. So creating value from converging technologies, you can see, right, we got IoT, we got robotics, we got AR, VR, augmented reality, virtual reality, advanced robotics, 3D printing, AI, machine learning and deep learning, digital twins, and right, the value dimension you can see we have individual, we have society, we have industry, we have firm, we have factory, you know, and in the middle of the framework you can see the value. What value we are talking about here? The first we look at the new skills. So ladies and gentlemen, we are in the Industrial Revolution 5. The skills, capabilities, they are all kind of important, how you deal with that kind of converging technologies. The only problem, you know, this is something we are in the academic scholars, we are teaching in universities. We ensure the curriculum what we offer and we develop to ensure the skills and the graduate attribute for the students is there. We need to accommodate for Industrial Revolution 5 to ensure when the student finish the degree, so they can have a right skills and what skills capability they be able to implement when they work in the industry, right? It's a very, very important new skills, technical augmented operators, accelerating sustainable production. So a lot of speakers, I think when I listen from the first speaker up to the fourth speakers, I'm the fifth speaker basically talking about sustainability, right? And the previous speaker also mentioned about smart processes, smart cities, right? You know, smart cities is not new, unfortunately. I did a big project with the Australia government, federal government provide the smart city project back then in 2018, right? Smart cities project is already maybe 10 years ago. It's nothing new. Smart processes, smart innovation and engineering, and smart structure, location and scale, and digital orchestration of the supply chain. Smart and personalized product is very important. It's not only smart product, but the product need to be personalized, and we need to consider new business model. Before we talk about supply chain structure, we need to understand new business model. And digital experiences. Previous speaker talking about digital twins, digital transformation. So this kind of research, digital transformation, supply chain digital transformation, and everyone want to do research, PhD, under my supervision, please feel free to contact me. You can contact me through WhatsApp. You can, you know, talk about publication together in the supply chain, digitalization, supply chain, AI in supply chain, machine learning in supply chain. Please, and you'll be able can chat and talk to me whether we can do research collaboration. I remember a few weeks ago, I had opportunity to visit East Java. East Java is a beautiful city, Surabaya, right? I had the opportunity to visit UNESA, Brawijaya, yeah, in Malang. And my doctorate student, now he's a professor, and he's a dean at UMM, Muhammadiyah Malang. Okay? So it's a beautiful cities in East Java. Okay? Beautiful and wonderful universities. So thank you once again, UNESA, and also universities to invite me as one of the speakers. Now, if you look at the challenges in this framework, you can see on the right hand side, the challenges, you can see this is good for your research when it comes to the challenges, problem. Because when you do your research, you really need to understand the problems. So many researchers, they said, oh, this is my objective. Okay, you talk about your objective, but can you tell us about the problem statement? What the challenges in the supply chain? Technology readiness, yeah, one of the main challenges. Security, right? Standards, interoperability, data management, change management, capability development, and culture or supply chain psychology for research. Supply chain culture and psychology, right? Well, so many scholars say, oh, you're a supply chain scholar. Many people say, oh, you're trying to, because when you come up with your research, you really need to understand the theoretical lens. What theoretical, when you build up your framework, when you build up your, research objectives and research design, of course, you really need to understand the problem and the novelty of the research. Okay? All right. So can I just give you just very quick video? It's a very good video. We talk about sustainable supply chain in the era Industry 5.0. DHL is one of my industry partner. You know, DHL is the world logistics service provider. Okay, so just want to share the video, just very quick video, so not take too long. Okay, so everybody can take note and see.
2050. Alongside our efforts to make our is produced by renewable energy, solar, wind, and CO2. And this makes it very interesting because we are now using the problem to bring the solution.
With fuel suppliers. In order that we achieve our sustainability target to have 30% of sustainable aviation fuels in 2030.
And we're investing in it.
In the area of supply chain, sustainability, digitalization, transformation, etc. Much time because the previous speaker talked about digital twins. So the idea is developing and implementing technology to create a future replica of operation. It allows us to have a real-time monitoring, simulation, optimization processes, leading to increased productivity and reduce environmental impact, for example. Okay, so here we go. This is kind of the data collection when I did a project with the mining industry. As you know, Western Australia, the three commodity including mining, resources, agriculture, those kind of sectors contributing to the GDP economy for Australia. Now, if you look at the data collection for the mining, like equipment, geological data, environmental data, etc. And you can see the integration processing, and we need to model and simulation the physical processing system. So the second, after the digital twins, what we can do for this is a real-time data streaming, because when you look at supply chain structure, you can see so complex. You really need to deal with the real-time data, right? From end-to-end supply chain, the upstream to downstream. So we need to monitor and enabling timely for the decision making. And also we can visualize the user interface, right? Using 3D printing, graphical visualization tool, AR and VR may also be used for immersive experiences. And number 4, the next future opportunity research is integration with the IoT, which is Internet of Things, and sensors, IoT for real-time monitoring. So this is good for your PhD topic because the project could be between 2 and 3 years, right? Because it's so complex for this project. You connect with IoT devices and sensor to digital twin platform to enable real-time data collection and also feedback and monitoring. This helps in monitoring equipment, environmental parameters, and worker safety. So one of the projects, I think, when I look at a review in the High Impact Factor Journal, which is the Decision Sciences Journal. One of the projects, wow, is a very good introduce the integration IoT and sensor in order to mitigate, with the tsunami, right? In a certain context, tsunami, because it's environmental parameters, and they look at the sea level, they look at the sensor, sea level, and you can see and you can use the AI to predict what's going on when, just straight after the earthquake and what potentially the tsunami, right? So this kind of the integration with the IoT and sensor IoT for the real-time monitoring. And number 5, everybody know AI predictive analytics, we call supply chain analytics. Implementation of machine learning algorithm to analyze historical and real-time data. This can help in predicting future trends, optimizing processes, and providing actionable insight. Now, number 5 is one of methodology. It's part of my research project funded by Australian Research Council Linkage project using the machine learning and AI and predictive analytics. In the port, supply chain disruption in the port, global port operations, a lot of congestion, like containers, and what happened, the bridge collapse, what happened, the containers, what happened, the ship, for example, stuck somewhere in Singapore, or maybe the ship stuck somewhere in Tanjung Perak, for example. And the ship actually security and data privacy, implement robust security measures to protect sensitivity data. This include encryptions, compliance, supply chain compliance, and with the data privacy regulation. Training and adoption, if you do come from the business school, you do come from the school, teacher, college, universities, provide training to personnel on how to use and interpret the digital twin, AI, machine learning, AR, VR, etc. Adoption and integration into daily operational practices, and monitoring and maintenance, of course, the total productive maintenance, for the digital twin system or equipment platform to ensure accuracy and reliability. Human capital development? The main purpose of human capital development to investigate the skill set and training. We do survey for this to investigate, to examine the skill set and training needed for a workforce in a highly digitized and technological advanced mining sector to this kind of technologies. Okay. Alright, so this is the reference list, ladies and gentlemen. So, and the list of my publication related to sustainability supply chain, those papers published in Q1. So for those scholars to attend in international conference, I can see it's more than 169 online. Please feel free to contact me if you would like to have a research collaboration in terms of publishing in a good journal, which is we aim to publish in a top tier international journal, which is Q1, and then we never publish, unfortunately, below than Q2. We're trying to, okay? So this kind of the list of paper I published with my colleagues, media, supply chain insight from social media, with during COVID-19, I got opportunity to publish from my research, and then procurement, and then ERP project, Industry 4, I published myself with my colleague. And also, you can see I published in terms of food supply chain, halal supply chain, publishing in the top tier journal, okay? So, once again, thank you very much indeed for listening. And I'm so pleased to be one of the speakers for the amazing international conference. Please accept my apology, I cannot come in person. But again, I'm more than happy to visit other universities. I'm more than happy taking any questions.
Okay, so I will give.
So I got one person put up your hand, which is UNESA and Nadita. If you can just ask and turn on your camera, so I would like to see you, and turn on your audio. For those if you are offline, and of course we do have moderator, and moderator can help to take any questions. So I don't know how many
curricula and project-based learning and empower students to develop AI and AOD.
So,
Okay, can you hear
if
the
I can
questions?
just supply chain digital, that's a one value you can see. What the value proposition for the businesses, for customers. Customer really want to receive the product to introduce connected grant application. University can learn.
Indonesia again and present Ina Koblianska, a very impressive background. So Dr. Ina Koblianska is an associate professor at the Sami State University of Ukraine and a PhD in international relations.
2022, almost half of enterprises, you can see, have completely or almost completely stopped working since February. Let's imagine 4 months they were not working, they were not operating. About 85 billion were total direct losses just only in June 2022 for business. Almost 20%, 1/5 of enterprise, about 20% of employees were sent on vacations, and about 30% experienced salary cuts. Sure, I should mention that it's not like that was a survey of 900 enterprises, but they were the most big, so we can say that this situation was like more or less average for all. And just want to pay your attention to that issue that about half of enterprises expected that they will not renovate or almost never resume their work. So that was June 2022, but I am still here and our business is still operating. So what's the reason? But before I just, before explaining or just trying to discuss with you the reasons of situations that we could overcome those challenges, I want to present to you direct losses that we have now, but even not now, it's for the November 2024, and those losses are still growing. Our Kyiv School of Economics, one of our think tanks, has done a great work together with ministers, and they are still doing this. They document and assess those losses. And just one comment that it's only direct losses caused by the war. So here you can see those figures in the slide. I want just to comment on some issues that you can see that the most damages we have for civilian buildings and for infrastructure that is like a body of economics. Yes, it's like flooding system for economic percent, and there were large and medium, and also it's not about entrepreneurs even here, so we don't have so much data about suffering and is still suffering from this situation. I have a continuous culture and even social sphere, all are suffering from this war and have huge losses. As of now, as of November 2024, direct losses are estimated at about $170 billion of US dollars. So it's very great sum, as I think. And I can't share with you losses that experienced high education institutions. That only pictures of our university. Attacks in September 2024 and in April 25 lead to huge losses. And it's only one university, and in our city we have a huge amount of enterprises that have the same situation. So as you can understand, it's difficult. business situation is very difficult due to those damages, due to damaged infrastructure and so on, and also population. My photos of university were not they were not just like one of the photo. It's explanation of situation with population and migration. So every such attack leads to the new waves of migration. I mean out of Ukraine, out of our cities, out of our region, for example. And as of now, we have, no, it's sure, it's not it's a preliminary estimate that we lost about 50% of industrial production capacity. We lost about 30% of agricultural land due to mines contamination and also due to occupation. About 30% of employees are relocated with enterprises that are relocated, and also due to such attacks they move to more safer regions, but now there are no safer regions in Ukraine. The population decrease is estimated for about 25%. This is due to migration, this is due to some losses related with war, this is due to migration and other reasons. And as I mentioned already, direct losses are estimated for about $170 billion, but indirect losses are estimated for more than $700 billion. And sure, the situation, it looks like, how it's possible to still live there, to still experience some I know, maybe even fun. So we try to be happy and to live, and our business are doing their roles and doing their activities. So let's look on what we have now. So really it's like a surprise. Is it possible to have GDP growth that you can see we have in such conditions? Some previous research, but there are no similar research, because since the Second World War, such war were not documented. Maybe if we have such big war, they were not documented enough. But research that explored some civilian conflicts inside the countries, they mentioned that during the conflict, GDP is decreasing about 1.5 points every year. But in our case, we have some growth. Sure, we have a huge decrease compared to basic level 2021, but at the same time, we have about some another very unexpected and surprising. For example, electricity. So yes, red line shows imports and green line shows exports. So as of now, Ukraine, despite the loss of energy infrastructure, despite the loss of production capacity, despite stolen thousands of alternative green energy capacities and occupied thousands of green energy capacities in the east on landings. So landings in hryvnias for corporate sector. So now for SMEs, I mean small and medium, so you can see that even compared to the safer period, I mean before the full-scale invasion and before the full-scale war, we had less number of active SMEs than now. Sure. Those lines like green and black, they are illustrating the dynamics of opening and closing. Sure, this is a dynamic situation. Sometimes, like at the beginning of 2025, we have lots of closing SMEs, but that was because of some changes in taxation system. even announced changes in taxation systems that led to bad expectation of business. But at the same time, there are a number of active small and medium enterprises is higher than in 2020, than at the beginning of 2022. As of now, we have about 2.2 million active small and medium enterprises. Really, this is legally registered employment, because we have some part of maybe shadow employment in this 21. And sure, due prices that are led by women, so we have some changes in the in the structure of SMEs by the sex. So this is the situation that we have, and now I am going to the reasons why we have this I guess good situation in economics now. I mean, good compared that it could be. So we have a well-developed digital policy as of now, and the main feature of this digital policy is a system-wide approach. Sure, it was not started in 2019, it started before. We have like a well-developed law system that started in 2010 with some basic laws like personal data protection and so on. But in 2019 there were a big structural change, establishment of the Ministry of Digital Transformation that integrated previously functions that other ministries did before, and they put they put some very important laws like about electronic public services, about electronic revenue. We have new strategy for our global innovation strategy that is based on adoption of AI in every sphere. But what was the most important, that was the launch of such called DIA. It is called DIA in Ukraine, and if you translate it in English, it means action. So DIA, it's our e-governance system that is available in our mobile phones, in the web portal, and that was launched in 2020, and nobody expects something special. And really, until the war times, we don't use it too much. It was just like some basic services or some news maybe, and it's all. But as of now, DIA is like stayed in your smartphone with lots of services. I can get all my documents there. I can, my driving license, my education diplomas, my work experience, even my wage, even my salary accounts. I also have all this information in the DIA. And it's only about citizens, but I will take more about business services that we have there. So as of now, DIA, it's in Ukrainian. This picture is in Ukrainian because we don't have such in English. But as of now, DIA has more than 20 million users. Just let me say that we have about 12 million of economically active people in Ukraine. So you can see that it's more than almost 2 times higher amount than economically active people in Ukraine. What's DIA? DIA is more than 66 services in the mobile application and more than 100 search services in the web portal. And DIA, it's like an ecosystem. It has lots of different angles, like DIA Business, DIA Education, DIA City, DIA Engine, DIA Digital Community, DIA Centers. So as citizens, we can use all of this, but business usually use this point, or maybe this function, DIA business. DIA education provides access to educational materials for people because we have digital education here. DIA city is a special regime, tax regime or regime for economical activities, simplified, that aims to foster business development and what's the most important, legal business activity. DIA engine, it's like a portal where local authorities can access and test different digital tools for regional governance. And it's also related with DIA digital community, where they can monitor and analyze situation in the regions. So all this is about our DIA. What are the main key figures of DIA like development and maybe use? So I mentioned about the number of users, services. What's important that public authorities also use DIA engine. I mentioned they can access different digital tools for regional governance. It's about more than 55 million users of digital signature. What's the most important? It's an economic result, and we have about 7 billion hryvnias savings in public procurement due to this transparency that digital technology brings. And some estimate that we have effects due to such digitalization. Sorry, but let me put your attention to those figures about digital skills, because I will talk about them later. So we have more than 30%, 38% of the population that have advanced digital skills that are below the basic level. Sure, we can count elder people here. They amount about up to 30% of the population. So the situation is understandable, but not good in any way. So what's the idea for citizens? What we can do? I mentioned already that I have all my documents that I need in my everyday life, and moreover, DIA when the war starts, just imagine, some people lost all their documents in one time. And in DIA was such document called e-document was implemented, and this e-document serves like legal passport, so national passport, sure, internal. So I don't need my paper copy or ID card to put with me every time. It serves like legal passport, digital passport, and this is the first experience in the world. And sure, it helps a lot because situations like in one day you can lose all that you have survived. Here we have an access to medical services, we have an access to digital bank services, digital education services, and so on. But that is for citizens. Let's move for business. So I mentioned that DIA city, it's a function of DIA where entrepreneurs could get special taxation system or special taxation regime and operate. That was planned as a special regime for IT specialists, the first in 2022. But as of now, they involve also defense tech, deep tech companies, so companies that make research work to simplify some bureaucratic procedures for them and maybe to stimulate their innovative activities. And that is doing now. So also in DIA we have such program that is called DIA Residency, and that program is for entrepreneurs from such countries like India, Pakistan, Slovenia, Thailand to register a business and pay taxes in Ukraine. The list of those countries is expanding. About DIA business, huge amount of services for business. Just example, even from I have tested this because I also was an entrepreneur. So as of now, it takes less than 3 minutes to register as a SME, yes, so small and medium enterprise. And really, it helps a lot. You don't need to go to any state administration or local authority. You can just use your smartphone and become an entrepreneur. And that is one of explanation, one of the reasons why we have, why we see this boom in the amount of entrepreneurs registered. Also, business could access different licensing services also via portal or via mobile application. That also helps a lot in overcoming some bureaucratic and maybe even corruption barriers to business development. And now what is exploring as this experience, DIA City was very successful. More than, I guess, about more than 10,000 specialists and companies are registered there. And this experience is now transferred to science and education sphere. And there is an idea to organize science city like ecosystem of scholars and researchers that will have special taxation regime that could help them to innovate. Because huge taxes now are complicating research activities. So, and now we also registering or experiencing some transformation in the defense sector. It's mainly due to some research work in the sphere of AI, VR, drones, robots, and so on. And sure, this transformation, to stimulate this transformation and those innovations, in the DIA City, it's possible to register such objects like intellectual property rights in a more simple and easy way than it was before without this digital system. So, like a conclusion, what's the most impacts of this system-wide digital policy? It's like knowledge database, and Ukraine is the first ranked leader. And in the government development index in 2024, the leader for Europe is Ukraine, and Denmark is the world leader. But that is the result. Why it's so important to provide this, to bring this system-wide project in digital policy? So this digitalization in governance creates transparency, and like we can see where funds go, we can see what decisions are made, and understand what's going on in this governance sphere. And this creates trust, and trust is very important for business to grow in such uncertain time and difficult time. And sure, it brings some integration in networking like DIA City and Science City that is going to be introduced. Sure, governance could provide better and targeted support. For example, citizens can get some payments if they were suffering from some damages. The same for business, they could register their requests for compensation for losses. And also government support in the form of state grants for business development that also was implemented via DIA without the necessity to visit any government facilities. And sure, this provides better monitoring and analysis as for governance about operations and also for population about governance activities. And sure, we hope that in the future, in the near future, we will be able to make more, to make data-driven decisions in spheres that now are suffering from this. And but still some problems exist. And the first one maybe is digital inequality, because not all people have an access to smartphones or maybe internet connection. This is due to damages and also due to demographic structure, like elder people, they don't have smartphones, they don't have necessary skills to use this technique. And also there are lots of services in India too educational services about how to use modern digital technologies that could help in your life, and also for elder people. Another challenge is the improvement of geospatial information, systems that use geospatial information to make decisions about regional governance and sustainable development policy. We are still, we still don't have enough knowledge, even at the level of regional authorities and people that work there, about the possibilities of use such systems in decision making. Sure, when all is going on in digital, all administrative data, all public services, all personal data is collected in digital environment. We have increased risk of cybersecurity threats, and we need to deal with them. For example, more than 4,000 cybersecurity attacks were registered just only in 2025. But as of now, it's more or less successful, so we don't have any serious consequences of that. And another problem that the constraint for business development is temporary closeness of registered data, because easy business development and business operation needs access to all registers, like about property, about number of entrepreneurs and so on. And this temporal closeness creates some challenges in future growth of economy. And sure, damages to the energy and digital infrastructure lead to the problems in implementing and developing this digital. So please ask.
From Surabaya and demonstrate the use of digital tools for environmental or social impact. Thank you.
Or just any project. Let me any project that demonstrates social impact, or students. You are unmuted.
Any project.
Okay. We have lots of such projects, like grant system, and I know really lots of such entrepreneurs that get state grants via DIA, and they open new business and they are successful. And those business usually they are of social nature, like sport facilities or maybe some initiatives in the sphere of culture or tourism. So this is such an example of this project. Another example, we have such interesting service that is called eBaby, and so young parents could register their child without visiting any local authorities, and it also makes our lives easier. Just imagine that we have some interesting statistics here. Public service.
Okay, so in the next sessions,
Dengan tekad yang kuat, kami mengepakkan sayap lebih luas demi memperkokoh Timur Jawa untuk menjadi salah satu poros utama ekonomi Indonesia. Seiring bertambahnya umur, komitmen kami adalah memberikan kemudahan dan kenyamanan dalam setiap layanan perbankan yang terus berkembang seiring kebutuhan masyarakat.
Thank you to Professor Dr. Andes Isi Abdul Mongit MA, PhD, and Mrs. Ika Diah Chandra Arifah, SA MCom, as our moderator in today's event. And thank you to the Georgia speaker from Indonesia, China, Malaysia, Taiwan, Australia, Malaysia, Taiwan, Australia, and Ukraine.
And we get 148 paper presenters from Indonesia, Angola, Yemen, China, Japan, Spain, Sudan, Egypt, India, Papua New Guinea, Gambia, and Latvia.
We would also like to thank our sponsor and co-hosts who support Iconbit 2025, who make this event a success. The next agenda will be a speaker certificate.
For the next speaker, certificate will be given to the third speaker of today's knowledge.
For Professor.
For the next speaker, certificate will be given so we can hold documentation session.
Thank you.
Ferry J. PhD from Edith Cowan University, Australia on the screen, so we can hold a documentation session.
To make this event a success. The first one, thank you for Bank Jombang, Bank milik Pemkab Jombang.
The second one, thank you to Korporanesa Sangdipa Sahwahita.
The third one, thank you for Red Doors.
The next sponsor, thank you to Bank Jatim.
The fifth, thank you to Hypnamic Events.
And the sixth one, thank you to PV4S Holding Company. And we also want to thank to our co-hosts to make this event a success. The first one, thank you to Universitas Nahdlatul Ulama Surabaya.
The second one, Universitas Negeri Jakarta.
The third one, Sekolah Tinggi Ilmu Ekonomi Amkop Makassar, STIE Amkop Makassar.
The fourth, Universitas Widyagama Malang.
And the next one, thank you to Universitas Muhammadiyah Sidoarjo.
And the last one, Universitas Nahdlatul Ulama Sidoarjo.
Moving to the next agenda, which is socialization of the panel class mechanism. For all participants, please pay attention.
Panel class mechanism Iconbit 2025. The first one. Participants of the room discussion or the call for papers participants listed in the list of participants announced by the committee.
The second one, the application used for room discussion is Zoom Cloud Meetings.
The third one, participants enter the Zoom room with the format room_paper ID _full name. For example, 10_4213_Alex Martin.
The next one, the committee will guide participants to enter the Zoom breakout room according to their respective classes.
The fifth, to create a comfortable atmosphere together, participants are expected to use headsets and be in the conducive presentation atmosphere.
The next one, if there are participants experiencing problems entering the Zoom breakout room, please contact the committee or assistant moderators on WhatsApp according to each room.
The seventh, entrance for participants opens 30 minutes before the event starts at 1:30 p.m.
The next one, call for papers participants make presentations according to the sequence number announced by a 2-minute reminder before the presentation ends.
11th, the discussion session will be held after all presenters have, and the last one, participants must attend and fill in attendance, which will be provided in the Zoom Cloud Meetings chat during the activity. To respect time, we will hold a break session while waiting for the committee and participants to prepare for their respective presentations.
The break session will be held for 1 hour from 13 p.m. until 14 p.m. See you at 2 p.m. everyone.
Standing majestically in the city of heroes to become a place for champions. Embracing all societies, creating a cultured campus, preserving the work of the nation's ancestors. Striving for achievement, igniting the fighting spirit of competition. Born from the basis of education and science, Universitas Negeri Surabaya is now increasingly independent by earning the status of legal entity university. Having established 5 campuses in East Java that are integrated, UNESA is ready to reach various groups to be able to pursue higher education. UNESA Campus 1 is located on Ketintang, Surabaya. There are 6 faculty buildings which include Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Sciences, Faculty of Engineering, Faculty of Economics and Business, Faculty of Social Science and Political Science, Faculty of Law, and Faculty of Vocation. Campus 2 UNESA is located on Lidah Wetan, Surabaya, with 7 main buildings, including the Rectorate Building, the Educational Institution and Professional Certification Building, and 5 faculty buildings which include Faculty of Educational Sciences, Faculty of Languages and Arts, Faculty of Sports and Health Sciences, Faculty of Medicine, Faculty of Psychology, Professional Education, as well as a graduate school. 2 other campuses are spread across East Java. Campus 3 UNESA on Professor Dr. Mustopo Street, Surabaya. Campus 4 UNESA is located on Gedangan, Sidoarjo, as well as Campus 5 UNESA located in Magetan, East Java.
Selamat datang di kampus Rumah Para Juara, Universitas Negeri Surabaya. Sebagai perguruan tinggi negeri berbadan hukum, UNESA terus menggali potensi terbaik anak bangsa, menempa para talenta gemilang, dan menjadi kampus yang ramah bagi semua kalangan. Kami percaya bahwa melalui pendidikan, peradaban dapat kokoh berdiri dengan menciptakan ruang inovasi, kreativitas, dan berdaya saing global. Memiliki program studi terakreditasi internasional maupun nasional. Kami berkomitmen memberikan pelayanan dan pendampingan bagi para mahasiswa dalam bidang akademik maupun non-akademik. Manu emprit terbang di angkasa, terbang tinggi bersama rombongan. Ayo bangkit, wujudkan asa, bareng UNESA, satu langkah di depan.
Having accredited institutionally superior, UNESA continues to improve the quality of internationally standardized study programs through ASEAN, AQUAS, and FIBA-A accreditations. Improving rankings at national and international levels, Universitas Negeri Surabaya also develops a variety of research and innovative products. Implementing the autonomy of an independent university, UNESA welcomes a variety of business management around the campus area. Universitas Negeri Surabaya is committed to realizing excellent service in supporting learning and preparing qualified graduates in various fields. Home of outstanding champions, UNESA is a vessel for the exploration of the development of soft skills and hard skills. Partnering with various parties, both on national and international scales. UNESA has carved its name in the Indonesian Record Museum and won several awards at the Higher Education, Research and Technology Award in 2023. Opening several new student admission schemes, UNESA unlocks opportunities for all societies, ranging from the national selection scheme based on achievement, the national selection based on tests, and the independent selection, which has 7 intakes, making UNESA a friendly campus for all people. Universitas Negeri Surabaya will continue this hard work to become a leading state university that is independent, sustainable, and environmentally friendly in Indonesia. standing majestically in the city of heroes to become a place for champions, embracing all societies, creating a cultured campus, preserving the work of the nation's ancestors, striving for achievement, igniting the fighting spirit of competition. Born from the basis of education and science, Universitas Negeri Surabaya is now increasingly independent by earning the status of legal entity university. Having established 5 campuses in East Java that are integrated, UNESA is ready to reach various groups to be able to pursue higher education. UNESA Campus 1 is located on Ketintang, Surabaya. There are 6 faculty buildings which include Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Sciences, Faculty of Engineering, Faculty of Economics and Business, Faculty of Social Science and Political Science, Faculty of Law, and Faculty of Vocation. Campus 2 UNESA is located on Lidah Wetan, Surabaya, with 7 main buildings, including the Rectorate Building, the Educational Institution and Professional Certification Building, and 5 faculty buildings which include Faculty of Educational Sciences, Faculty of Languages and Arts, Faculty of Sports and Health Sciences, Faculty of Medicine, Faculty of Psychology, Professional Education, as well as a graduate school. 2 other campuses are spread across East Java. Campus 3 UNESA on Professor Dr. Mustopo Street, Surabaya. Campus 4 UNESA is located on Gedangan, Sidoarjo, as well as Campus 5 UNESA located in Magetan, East Java.
Selamat datang di kampus rumah para juara, Universitas Negeri Surabaya. Sebagai perguruan tinggi negeri berbadan hukum, UNESA terus menggali potensi terbaik anak bangsa, menempa para talenta gemilang, dan menjadi kampus yang ramah bagi semua kalangan. Kami percaya bahwa melalui pendidikan, peradaban dapat kokoh berdiri dengan menciptakan ruang inovasi, kreativitas, dan berdaya saing global. Memiliki program studi terakreditasi internasional maupun nasional. Kami berkomitmen memberikan pelayanan dan pendampingan bagi para mahasiswa dalam bidang akademik maupun non-akademik. Manu emprit terbang di angkasa, terbang tinggi bersama rombongan. Ayo bangkit, wujudkan asa, bareng UNESA, satu langkah di depan.
Having accredited institutionally superior, UNESA continues to improve the quality of internationally standardized study programs through ASEAN, AQUAS, and FIBA-A accreditations. Improving rankings at national and international levels, Universitas Negeri Surabaya also develops a variety of research and innovative products. Implementing the autonomy of an independent university, UNESA welcomes a variety of business management around the campus area. Universitas Negeri Surabaya is committed to realizing excellent service in supporting learning and preparing qualified graduates in various fields. Home of outstanding champions, UNESA is a vessel for the exploration of the development of soft skills and hard skills. Partnering with various parties, both on national and international scales. UNESA has carved its name in the Indonesian Record Museum and won several awards at the Higher Education, Research and Technology Award in 2023. Opening several new student admission schemes, UNESA unlocks opportunities for all societies, ranging from the national selection scheme based on achievement, the national selection based on tests, and the independent selection, which has 7 intakes, making UNESA a friendly campus for all people. Universitas Negeri Surabaya will continue this hard work to become a leading state university that is independent, sustainable, and environmentally friendly in Indonesia.